Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Daily Wrap for what was my return day of the week, Friday the 11th of November, 2022. Also a shorter week this week, only a 5-day streaming week as opposed to usually a 6-day streaming week, which is fine because we're going to have a lot of crazy stuff going on this week, and I kind of need to align to prepare for Thanksgiving in 2 weeks. Anyway, let's talk. What do we do today? Well, on the Level 1 podcast, covered a lot of topics. My day off, how I actually prepared to get my Thanksgiving meal kind of purchased, so I'm good to go for Thanksgiving coming up later in the month. Some housekeeping things, such as you guys submitting questions for the Thanksgiving Ask the King, as well as posting up advertisements for the upcoming Adpocalypse Marathon the day after. That's going to be pretty neat. We talked about news like Twitter falling apart at the seams. We talked about God of War Ragnarok and my thoughts about it. It was a good podcast. Lots of stuff was covered. Usually my day back from my day off is a really good podcast. So I hope that you guys will check it out if you haven't yet. It's a good show. All right. Today's main gameplay stream was the continuation of God of War Ragnarok. Another 3 hours where we continued to explore that lake that we were exploring last time. We finished up a lot of the side content in said lake, which was really fun. Then we moved on to the next leg of the story, which I won't say too much about it because it's an interesting part of exploration, puzzles, combat, a lot of stuff. There was actually a unique boss today that we fought that I really enjoyed. Good stuff. It definitely seems like they addressed a lot of the complaints from the original game. Like, for example, I remember in the original game, one of my complaints was, man, you sure fight that same ogre-style boss a million times. You sure fight that troll a million times, right? You sure fight that same boss over and over. So far, 8 hours in, I really haven't fought an identical mini-boss or anything like that yet. Everything's been pretty unique. The areas are unique and different and interesting, and the puzzles are more advanced now. The combat's getting better. Really good. Again, 8 hours in. I don't really have much of a complaint. The one accident that happened today, it seems like the lock-on can be a little bit finicky. What I mean by that is I'm in the middle of combat, not locked on to an enemy. All of a sudden, it locks on. And I think that may be because the thumbsticks are so sensitive. I remember that I was having issues with the sensitive thumbstick when I played Call of Duty at the launch of PS5 2 years ago. So I'm locking on by accident. And what happens is when you lock onto an enemy by accident, all of a sudden the camera starts to gravitate towards other enemies rather than the one you want to face. And then you end up getting hit from behind. A lot of times today, I was in like a mini boss or a special fight. I wanted to lock onto the tougher enemy, and it kept gravitating towards the other weaker ones. Again, I don't know if that's actually a problem or if it's just the oversensitivity of the controller. It's kind of hard to tell. But that's about all I have to say negative about the game so far. Everything about the game is outstanding. In 8 hours now. Thank you all who are watching it on demand after the fact, because I know a good amount are. Please remember, if you are watching it on demand after the fact, give the videos likes if you enjoy them. Please leave comments on the videos. That is critical to the success of this channel and the playthroughs to get that engagement on a big, high-profile new release like this, okay? Late stream tonight was Modern Warfare 2 multiplayer, also known as Friday Night Firefights. Now, tonight was both good and bad. Let me explain. It was good because I spent the entire stream grinding out with a weapon. It was the Kastov, like 545 or something like that was the model. So there are weapon trees in this game where you start off with a base model of a gun. You have to grind with it for a while, gain experience. Once the game levels up, you unlock the next version of the gun and then the next version. So apparently one of the best weapons in the game right now is the Kastov 74U. I'm trying to get to it, but you have to go through 2 iterations first. Last time I played with the first Kastov and I liked it. I thought it was quite a good gun. Tonight, this Kastov I used was terrible. It had very low damage. The accuracy wasn't great. There were tons of times where I was getting into a firefight with someone. I would hit them 6-7 times first. Boom, instant death. Like, now I got the drop on them. I fired on them so many times. The gun just doesn't have very good damage, okay? The good news is, 2 hours, I grinded through it. And now, next time around, when I play this on Monday night, we've unlocked the 74U, which is the gun everyone says I should stick with for several streams, get attachments for it, and then if I want variety afterwards, go for it. But people are saying it's a really good gun and I should try to play it and stick with it. Sounds good to me. Problem was, I had to suffer tonight. And man, yeah, it was a lot of suffering. There were some matches you start and immediately, like, your team is idiotic. They split up and then they get dominated. Now you can't spawn together anymore, so you never have a chance. Terrible spawns where I would spawn, take one step, get shot from 2 different directions. Pretty frustrating stuff tonight, especially, again, when I'm doing well and then the gun won't even kill someone, right? So, not much you could do about that. I kind of had to tough through it. At this point, I basically have, because now thankfully, it looks like that was it for that gun, and now we can move on to the good one next time. So thank you to everyone who attended, supported in any way today. Great support day. Everything was good. Thank you so much. All right. Now tomorrow we go back to some variety because some people already are like, oh, Phil, I have to stay away from your streams. I'm playing God of War. I don't want to spoil myself. Well, tomorrow we go back to different games. We start with Sonic Frontiers, which is a game I admit I am very intrigued at. I played it the other day and actually enjoyed my 3 hours playing it, although I was like, wow, that doesn't feel like a Sonic game at all. It does have Sonic elements for sure, but it's so different. So I'm very excited to jump back into Sonic Frontiers tomorrow and see where the game leads because it was so unique last time I played it, okay? Tomorrow night will be Gotham Knights continuing on, which I'm happy for. I really like the game at this point. It grew on me, for sure. As these characters leveled up and got unique combat abilities and everything, despite the shortcoming of the graphics, the game is fun. Tomorrow, we're going to try to focus solely on the story because we have to level up the story further to unlock more levels and abilities for the characters so they can take on the final side mission against Clayface before we adjourn the main story of the game. So, mostly story development tomorrow night. It should be a good time. I hope you'll join me for that for the late stream, okay? God of War will actually continue on Sunday, and that'll be paired with Disney Dreamlight Valley. If you're wondering, gee, I wonder when's the next Modern Warfare, Monday night stream. Okay, guys? That is it. Thank you. Great stream today. Had a great time. I hope that you guys enjoyed. I hope that you'll have a good evening, and I will see you all tomorrow morning for Sonic Frontiers. Peace out, and have a good night. I will see you all then. Later.